Hi everyone, Tom here. It's been a week since my marathon and I just thought I'd do a video just to go through how the week before went, what I did in the week leading up to the marathon, and some details about the race itself, or the run itself, and how it went. So the week before the marathon, so on the Sunday beforehand, so 7 days before, I did 10 miles nice and steady, 1 minute a mile slower than my target marathon pace, so 8:30 miling for 10 miles. A bit of an ankle niggle on that run caused me some worries. So I skipped a couple of runs during that week, but I did two more runs, Tuesday and the Thursday in the build up to the marathon. So I did a 5 mile block with the middle mile at marathon pace. And then I also did a 6 mile block, which was a 2 mile warm up, 3 miles at marathon pace, and then 1 mile easy. So they were the two runs I did during the build up to the race. Other than that, the other things I did, for the first time ever, I tried beet it shots, if you know the concentrated beetroot shots, which are supposed to help with running efficiency. So I took one of those every day for 5 days in the build up to the race. I upped my carb levels a little bit in the 3 or 4 days before the race, not massively. I didn't change my diet much from normal, but I did increase the carbs a little bit in those few days. Saturday was a rest day, so I did no running and not much in the way of walking on the Saturday. Had a good rest day. And then Sunday was race day, so it was a week ago now. Sunday was race day. Weather was perfect. It was 2 degrees, slightly overcast, no ice on the roads, which did worry me. Absolutely no wind, which was amazing because we don't often get no wind at all. So wind was perfect in the lack of it. I had a group of friends helping me with the race itself, or with the run itself. I had one friend who ran 3 of the 4 laps with me. If you saw the video before this one, you'll see that I had a planned 4-lap marathon route, a very fast, flat marathon route on quiet roads, so 4 laps. So one friend ran 3 laps with me, a couple of other friends ran 2 laps, and 3 or 4 friends ran 1 lap. Obviously, to be COVID safe, we were swapping and changing at different points and different times, so that I always had people with me, but equally we didn't exceed the regulatory numbers. My sister and my stepmother came over and they ran a lap in the opposite direction, just to say hi as they went past, which was really nice. And I had bike support as well, who helped with aid stations and stuff like that. I had 2 aid stations set up on my lap, so I had access to water bottles and gels at those aid stations. And my bike support would go ahead and hold a bottle out for me to grab as I went past, which is small things like that which make a real difference and make you focus on the important stuff when it's not an official race, and you've got to make the best race you can of it. So things like that really helped, and having different people to talk to all the way around really helped as well. Target pace was 7:22. That has been my marathon pace in the back of my mind for quite a few weeks, although it's kind of scared me, but I think that's because of all the long training weeks I've been doing. So target was 7:22 miling, based off my half marathon I did about 2 months ago, where I did 7-minute miling. So that was the target. We started off at 7:30 in the morning, and we started off with a 7:30 mile just to sort of ease into it, really. We did a 7:30 mile, and then we got into the 7:20, 7:22, 7:25 sort of area from then on. And I kind of let elevation adjust the pace a little bit, so I'd happily do a 7:25, 7:26 if needs be, if I was going up a slight hill, but then I'd drop it to 7:20 or 7:19 or whatever, coming back down the very slight hills we had on the loop. So I tried to even it out around about 7:22, and occasionally I had to be told to ease off a bit, and occasionally I had to tell my friends to ease off a bit. But it was great to have that support on the run. I took salt tablets every 2 miles, not for the first lap, but then from then on I took salt tablets every 2 miles because I sweat like crazy. So I was being really consistent with my salt tabs, my gels every 3 miles, and taking plenty of water on the way as well, water with every gel. It wasn't it wasn't a warm day. Obviously it was 2 degrees, but I still do sweat and I still need to take on water, and that's the sort of thing that catches me out at the end of the marathon. But this one went perfectly, to be honest. The first 3 laps, pace was bang on, and I think the difference between each of the 3 5-mile laps was 10 to 15 seconds overall, so absolutely nailed the pacing through those first 3 laps. And then into the 4th lap, and it did start to get a little bit difficult when the 4th lap started. I was averaging about 7:22, 7:24ish. I'll put the splits up so you can see them, but I was averaging bang on pace, and then suddenly it just starts to get a little bit tricky, and suddenly 7:25 becomes 7:30, becomes 7:35, and you just can't get those seconds back, and the heart rate was starting to creep up as well. And so I started giving myself mile targets, so I'd try and keep under 7:40, I think, for mile 24, then try and keep under 7:45 for mile 25, just pushing to the end of that mile. To be honest, I was in a really good place. I knew I was on for a good time. I knew I just had to hold on to every second, and I hadn't completely fallen apart, which I have done in marathons in the past. So mile 25, I think I did about 7:45, and I knew I had 1 mile left to do. And the pace started slipping back down to like 8:05, 8:06 midway through that mile. And I thought, I'm going to get this mile under 8-minute miles. And I had to have a bit of a sprint to finish mile 26. But I got that in at 7:59, I think. And then the last 400 meters, it's amazing how you can find it when you can see a few mates waiting for you at the finish line. And so I managed to push that up to 7:10 miling for the last push, and I finished overall in 3:15:57, which absolutely thrilled with. Absolutely brilliant time for me. An unofficial 12-minute PB, but it almost felt better than a race, to be honest, because if I can do 3:15:57 with 1 or 2 people around me supporting me, without the effects of, you know, being in a big race, other people running my pace, other people ahead of me, that sort of thing. If I can do 3:15, 3:57 there, then I know there's more to come, which is my next goal anyway. So across the line, 3:15:57, feeling amazing. Best marathon I've ever run. You know, many times in the past I've blown up at mile 16, 17, 18, blown to pieces. This time I didn't at all. I know I got a 20-mile PB as well. I've done standalone 20 miles before in 2:35, and I think I did about 2:27 or so this time round. So thrilled to bits with that and with the whole race. And since then I've taken a whole week off, so I've had a week of recovery, done very little, eaten very much, a week of recovery, and now it's 8 days since my marathon, so I've had a full week off, and my next training block starts today. Luckily it starts with a rest day, so today is a rest day. All of this week I'll just be doing easy miles, so back to sort of 8:15, 8:30-minute miling. About 25 miles I'll do this week, and then we get into the half marathon training. So from there it's 8 weeks, 9 weeks maybe, until my next race, which will be an official, hopefully, half marathon at the end of February. And so the target there will be sub 90, which I've come within 10 seconds of last time. So I'm a lot fitter now than I was then, I think. So sub 90 should be doable. It's a flat, fast race down Hampton Court, River Thames area. So that's the next target. And then following on from that, 2 months after that will be my next marathon. So end of April, I think, Eton Dorney, another fast course. And I'm really looking forward to that, because my target for that will obviously be a little bit quicker, all going well. You know, I've had 34 weeks or so of excellent training, feeling really fit, feeling really strong. And if I can extend that by another 20 weeks or so up until my next marathon, you know, there's no reason why I can't go a fair bit faster and make an official PB of it. So that's the next block of training I've got. Stay tuned for more updates, more video content weekly as I tell you about my training sessions towards that sub 90 half marathon, and then the 3:05, 3:10 maybe marathon in April. So thank you for watching this update. Thank you for all the comments that I had on Strava and Instagram for how well the race had gone. So at Inspired Runner on Instagram, or find me a Strava as well. Hopefully you've seen the Strava details up through this video. Thank you very much. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the channel for the next updates, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. See you later.